Welcome, seekers, to Stand Free Spiritual Talks. Basically, I want to touch on if you're here trying to figure out what's going on during what you assume may be a spiritual awakening, which it probably is. So, this spiritual awakening business is no new thing on this earth. It's been going on since the beginning of human life. What is it? It's basically when your higher self wants to work with you a little bit more because it feels like you're not reaching your full potential. So don't worry too much. It's just a guide opening up to you for whatever reason. Maybe you're on the wrong path, and you're reachable. If you're reachable, it's going to reach out and try to get a hold of you a little bit, wrangle you in to perhaps change your course or help you along some changes that you had no real effect on, or you did, but they happened, and now you're dealing with them, and you're dealing with them in a way that's maybe detrimental to your own well-being. Generally, the spirit will show up when your well-being is in question, and it feels like they need to intervene a little bit more. And it could get some support from spirit guides, divine helpers, to unlock the veil, lift the veil to help you open your spiritual eyes. And then when your spiritual eyes are open, you're going to start seeing things a lot differently. It's not always this big woo-woo, people like to call it, factor that seems mostly ghostly. It has a touch of that, but a lot of synchronicities and dreams, perhaps your old habits or things you used to do that used to make you happy or entertain you or keep you occupied no longer even interest you. You can't find something to watch on TV. Everything seems boring. Going to the same places in the past or hanging out with certain groups, the talk seems so surface, or there's a lot of drama talk that your brain's saying, I can't really keep this up any longer. I need to go deeper. You don't even know it yet, but then you start doing a little bit of a deep dive. Maybe you're starting to connect with your spirit, the divine helpers in this phase of life a little bit. You weren't coming after it, seeking it. Sometimes it just shows up for a reason. And that reason is to really just help you move along. So things like a gentle touch, by something that you don't even see, you think you felt it. That's usually some way of the spirit to start to create your awareness. These type of experiences are meant to have you start questioning what's really going on. If you don't start questioning it and you just shrug everything off like it's nonsense, well, you might miss out on, getting that connection sooner. Eventually, you still may get it, but you need to follow the signs, pay attention to what your intuition is doing in your life. And you might not even know the word intuition or spiritual awakening yet. You're just coming across it these days. That's how it was, along my journey. I had no mindset of it, and it came in pretty fast, and I had to get going and start figuring out what it was all about. Once you begin to understand this is something that is with you and it's going to help you, which they have their own way of working it out with you. But you have to sort of give yourself some time, take a walk, do a little light meditation, do a little knowledge gaining. Definitely, you might all of a sudden be really drawn to seeking out information on spiritual life, spiritual awakening. Take a walk into the bookstore, into the section where, it has these types of books available. Just go with the one that you like. Maybe open it up. You could open it up to a page that helps explain something that you just experienced recently. You know, this is the way the synchronicities work with the spiritual awakening. So if you just decide to turn around and run away from it, you know, it's going to wait for you. It's going to keep coming back. So the sooner you start to investigate and take deeper thought dives on contemplations on what could be going on in those spaces, your brain will start to tell you what's going on. You'll start to figure it out because, you know, it's guided by your intuition. So your intuition is part of the spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening is really the spirit that lives within you beginning to want to join you in this earthly activity a little bit more seriously, because it knows the road you're on, you know, it's strewn with maybe, you know, a lot of negativity or things that aren't really going to make you happy and enjoy and have a great life experience if you just keep, you know, going along the mundane path. You know, you might not believe it's mundane, but once you kind of start to open up your spiritual eyes and see through a higher vision, unlimited vision, it's like I always explain it as some of my meditations, I would go kind of float, take my mind and go above everything and then look at the vastness of this world and realize that, you know, there's a lot more things out there in this world that we can experience other than the same patterns that no longer serve us. We're utilizing the same approach that never really worked out for you, but you just keep repeating the thing. So when intuition comes in and awakens within you, what you might begin to understand as you do a little bit of work, it takes a little bit of, you know, maybe some journaling, some understanding, and then you can become creative in your own life, focusing your energies on some new ideas and new paths that will ultimately transform your life experience. Just in the process of beginning to work with your intuition, it begins to transform your life because you're already moving away from the old pattern. So basically, that's it in a nutshell. There's a lot more to learn. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Stand Free Spiritual Talks.